Laudetur Jesus Christus. So let's continue with the subject of pronouns. Again, we were reading a sentence from the Gospel of St. Luke where a reaction of a Pharisee who observed a certain woman crying at Jesus' feet and wiping his feet with her hair. And the Pharisee, seeing this, said to himself, and I'm going to read the Latin, Videns autem Phariseus qui vocaverat eum, ait intra se dicens, the Pharisee who called him, seeing this, says to himself, Hic, this one, si esset propheta, if he was a prophet, scire tutique, he would know, que, et qualis est mulier, que tangit eum. Who and what kind of a woman is this who is touching him? Que, we already looked at qui, que, quod. In the Our Father we say, Pater noster qui, as in Celis, Our Father who are in heaven. And we have masculine, feminine, neutral, qui, que, quod. In the last episode we covered this with some examples. So here we have que et qualis est mulier, who and what kind of a woman is this? Que tangit eum, who touches him. And for this eum, we have to go to another pronoun. We need to cover various pronouns. There's a pronoun is, ea, id, the one I'm about to cover. And that is used when something was previously referenced. The pronoun hic, hac, hoc, which we already looked at, refers to something that's visible to me, the speaker. When it's visible to you, to someone to whom I'm speaking, whom I am addressing, then I would use iste, ista, istud. And when it's visible to a third person, then it would be ille, illa, illud. This is not such a precise science that I would want to make an absolute rule out of this. However, it's one way to explain why we have these various pronouns. It has to do with the proximity of the thing that we are referring to or pointing to. So now we have to cover is, ea, id. Nominativus, is, ea, id. Genitivus, eius, eius, eius. Dativus, ei, ei, ei. Accusativus, eum, eam, id. Eum was in our sentence. Notice, qui vocaverat eum. Et mulier que tangit eum, him, masculine, eum, feminine, eam, and neutral, id, the same as the nominativus. Accusativus and nominativus in neutral are always the same. And the ablativus is eo, ea, eo. And then we have the plural, e, ea, genitivus eorum, earum, eorum, dativus eis, 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 accusativus eos, eas, ea, and ablativus eis, eis, eis. And now I have a few examples. Is qui foris est, he who is outside, is, the subject is. Ea que intus est, she who is inside, ea, referring to a feminine subject. And for the neutral, it quod legis, that which you are reading. It quod legis. Genitivus is the same in all three genders. Nomen eius est Johannes. His name is John. Nomen eius est Julia. Her name is Julia. Testimony eius veritas, the truth of his testimony. Eius. Dativus, apparuit ei angelus. An angel appeared to him or to her, because ei is the same in masculine, in feminine, and in neutral. Dixit ei secretum. He told her a secret. Do ei pabulum. I give it some food, some feed, if I'm thinking of an animal. Do ei pabulum. Accusativus, mitto ad eum epistulam. I send to him a letter. I'm sending to him a letter. Feminine example, mitto ad eam epistulam. Neutral, usque ad it tempus, until that time. It tempus. Tempus is neutral, so it's it tempus. Usque ad, until, all the way up to. Usque ad it tempus. And accusativus, loquor de eo. I'm speaking about him. Feminine gender example, de ea fide quae nobis est, of that faith that is in us. De ea fide. I could say loquor de ea fide quae in nobis est. I'm speaking about that faith which is in us. And neutral, de eo dictionario. I could say loquor de eo dictionario. I'm speaking about that dictionary that was previously named. I could have said Cassell's dictionary is very good. Loquor de eo dictionario. Now I would want to point out that other words are formed by attaching an indeclinable addition to certain pronouns. For example, from is, ea, id, we can attach the letters dem, dem, and we have idem, eadem, idem, and it means the same. And the 5 cases would be nominativus, idem, eadem, idem. Genitivus, eusdem, eusdem, eusdem. So notice that the attached part is not declined. It always remains the same. The part that was the pronoun is declined, as we just saw previously. Is, ea, id, eius, 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 etc. So idem, eadem, idem. Genitivus, eusdem, eusdem, eusdem. Dativus, eidem, eidem, eidem. Accusativus, eundem, eandem, idem. And ablativus, eodem, eadem, eodem. Let's look at some examples. Video eandem mulierem. I see the same woman. Eandem. Plural, I could say video easdem mulieres. Or another example, loquor, I speak de eodem viro. Ablativus, loquor de eodem viro. I speak about the same man. Loquor de eodem viro. Lego, I read eundem librum. I'm reading the same book. Lego eundem librum. Imus, which means we are going. Imus in eandem ecclesiam. We are going to the same church. Imus in eandem ecclesiam. So idem, eadem, idem, and the rest of it is declined the same as is, ea, id. And idem means the same. Another combination would be quidam. In our last episode we already covered qui, que, quod, the demonstrative pronoun. So we could add the letters dam, quidam, and decline qui as normally and leave the attachment the same in all cases. And we have nominativus quidam, quedam, quoddam, which means a certain person or a certain thing. Genitivus cuiusdam in all 3 cases. Dativus cuidam in all three cases. Accusativus quendam, quandam, quoddam. And ablativus quodam, quadam, quodam. I could say, for example, cuiusdam mulieris liber, some woman's book. Cuiusdam mulieris. I could say, cuiusdam auctoris opus. Auctor is an author. It's declined like pater, patris. So auctoris, cuiusdam auctoris opus. Some author's work. Another combination would be aliqui, alique, aliquod. In this case, we are again using the pronoun qui, que, quod, but in this case we attach something in front of it, and it's not declined. So aliqui, alique, aliquod. Alicuius, alicui, aliquem, aliquam, ali stays always the same. But the rest of it is declined as qui, que, quod. And it means someone, something, or anyone, or anything. Aliquis. Yet another example would be qui cumque. Cumque is indeclinable, and qui is declined, as we have seen previously. Qui, cuius, cui, and the rest of it. So it would be qui cumque, que cumque, quod cumque. And genitivus cuius cumque, dativus cui cumque, accusativus quem cumque, masculine, quam cumque, feminine, and quod cumque, neutral. So we have seen so far is, id. We have seen hic, hac, hoc. And now we should look at iste, ista, istud, and ille, illa, illud. Nominativus iste, ista, istud. Genitivus istius, istius, istius. Dativus isti, isti, isti. Accusativus istum, istam, istud. Ablativus isto, ista, isto. And some examples. Iste mortus est. This one is dead. Iste. Ista vivit. This one is alive. Ista vivit. Istud animal periculosum est. This animal is dangerous. Istud animal. Genitivus. Istius mors nos contristat. The death of this one is making us sad, saddens us. Istius vita nos letificat. The life of this one makes us joyful or happy. Istius vita. Istius regni non erit finis. The kingdom of this one will never end, will not have an end. Dativus scribo isti viro epistulam. I am writing to this man a letter. Scribo isti femine epistulam. I am writing to this woman a letter. Do isti animali pabulum. I am giving to this animal some feed. Accusativus video istum amicum. Video istam amicam. Video istud animal. And ablativus loquor de isto viro. In ista regione, in this region. In isto regno, in this kingdom. Regnum regni, neutral. Regio regionis, feminine gender. So in ista regione, in isto regno. And now let's look at ille, illa, illud. Nominativus ille, illa, illud. Genitivus illius, illius, illius. Dativus illi, illi, illi. Accusativus illum, illam, illud, ablativus illo, illa, illo. So we have is, ea, id, hic, hac, hoc, iste, ista, istud, ille, illa, illud. Various Latin pronouns. It is essential to know these and to have some familiarity with them, because without it the text would be obscure, any Latin text. So again, if we were to go back to our initial sentence, now we should be able to appreciate it a little more. Videns autem Phariseus, qui vocaverat eum, ait intra sedicens hic, si esset profeta, scire tutique, que, et qualis est mulier, que tangit eum. So perhaps this is enough for today. We have looked at various additional pronouns, and perhaps in the next 15 minutes of Latin we will go over a few more, and then we will be able to move into a new subject area. So for now, valete.